In this video, I'm not going to tell you the best way to build a wargaming list. I'm going to tell you the way I do it. So a few months ago, I think, Games Workshop announced that they were making a new Astra Militarum Imperial Guard Cadian box, the Cadian shock troops, new box, and all that kind of stuff. And I was very much looking forward to getting my hands on one, and Games Workshop sent me one for free, which I'm not talking about, but they don't, it's completely my opinion in the whole deal. It's right here, and it is a new box. I mean, the box is new. There is a sprue in here that is also new. It's got a whole bunch of different heads, different helmets, different haircuts, different genders, things going on in there. There's also a bunch of cool new weapons in there, which have not been in the normal Cadian set since 2005. But the rest of the sprues in here are from 2005. So that's, I don't know, it's a little weird. Like, here we go. You know, you can see we got a whole bunch of folks in there. Something has already fallen off of one of the sprues. They're old. They're ancient. Right there. You can read that, 2005. So the normal sprues that you've known since you were a child are still basically the sprues that come in this box, and that's fine. But there's this new sprue right here. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There we go. That one is the new one. That's got a sniper rifle. When was the last time you found an actual sniper rifle that works well with Imperial Guard? It's super difficult to do. Plasma gun. I have kit bashed plasma guns onto Imperial Guard, but this is the kind where you glue the handle on the side so they're holding it like this, and then they got like a handle almost here like a motorcycle, which makes a lot of sense because when you try to put a normal plasma gun that a Space Marine would carry, you put it on a Guardsman, they look stupid. Like they look like they should fall forward a lot because it's massive in comparison. But you give them a handle, at least there's something going on there. So yeah, that's the new sprue, and when I saw that, my thought was, I want to make a new kill team. I've already got a kill team for Imperial Guard, and but I wanted to make a new one because of reasons. So I decided to do that, and so I'm like, great, I've got this box, I've got these bottles, it's going to be awesome. Let's make ourselves a list. Spoiler alert, you can't make a list out of the Cadian shock troops. They can be part of the list, but you can't get 100 points out of the 10 folks that are inside of this box. The best I was able to do, giving everybody all the possible toys that were legal within Kill Team, was like 68 points. Maybe, it was under 70 for sure. And so I thought to myself, well, that's a real bummer. I'm not gonna be able to use these guys to make myself a list. I mean, I could go buy another box or something like that or whatever, but I'm just like, And then I thought to myself, how did I make the list last time? And then I went and looked, and it turns out it also had a bunch of Scions in it, which are the Tempestor Scions. And as it turns out, I did actually happen to have a box of them in my basement. One of the benefits of being the type of dork who goes and just buys stuff, maybe a little bit obsessively here and there, is that when you need things, very frequently they're on a shelf in the basement, and that's kind of a nice thing. So when I first started building my army list, and I like to use the old Battle Scribe here on my phone, when I first started, I had obviously just all regular Cadians, and I had a leader, and I had some specialists, and I had a bunch of just regular old, ground pounders. And it didn't work out. I couldn't get enough in 10, just in the box to make it happen. So I thought, okay, well now I got to kind of start over because I'm going to be adding in the Scions. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a competitive player. I'm sure there are some of you out there that are saying, no, this is the best way to build an Astra Militarum list for competitive play kill team. I don't kind of care, frankly. Like, I'm not into that type of gaming. I'm not a tournament player. I'm not a competitive player. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. That's what you want to do. What I want to do is have a good time playing the way that I like to play. And for me, the hobby portion and the building and the kind of building the story around my little group is really the most important thing. One of the reasons that I enjoy skirmish style games like Kill Team here in comparison to big army games is because I can kind of invest not only more hobby time in each model in the group, but I can also invest a little bit more brain time, a little bit more headcanon almost into why this squad's doing what they're doing. Why are they, fighting in this way? Why are they composed of this group? That kind of thing. It doesn't make any sense in the terms of the actual game, but it helps me to enjoy what I'm doing a little bit more, and that keeps me motivated. So now it's time to go back through the list that I'd already started here on my phone and try to figure out how to add some Scions on it to, build it up to about 100 points and kind of go from there. Now my thought processes was, okay, I've got this sergeant who's got a power sword and a plasma pistol, who's just a normal, guardsman sergeant. We're going to replace that sergeant. Doesn't make sense to me to have some Scions who are basically under the command of a normal sergeant. In my mind, if there's any Scions in the group, the Tempestor, who's the basically kind of the sergeant of the Scions in that situation, would be probably the person who is the most ranking officer. I don't know if this actually fits into the lore particularly, but it's what I'm going with, and again, it's my headcanon. So I decided we're definitely going to start off with a Tempestor. He's going to have a plasma pistol because plasma pistols are cool. Probably they suck in the game, but eventually you could blow your hand off, although it's much less likely these days because you have to overcharge to blow your hand off. If you just shoot them normally, you can't blow your hand off. So that's kind of new. Well, it's not new. It's been around for a while. But back when I started, you always had to watch out for plasma weapons because you were always going to die. Almost always. At least if you were me, you were going to die a lot. So plasma pistols, I love bringing those things in here. You can't really see all that. I apologize. But with the Tempestor, though, I can use a Power Fist. And again, I know Power Fist is probably not super effective in the game, but I love putting it on there. I just love the way it looks, love painting them. So I'm a big fan of that. Plasma Pistol and Power Fist on the Tempestor. Now, I could use a bunch of these Militarum, whatever they're called, Tempestus Scions. I could use all 5 in the list and then just fill out the rest with Imperial Guard. But I got this new box of Imperial Guard, and I want to use as many of them as possible to fit within this list. So what I ended up doing was taking just 3 of the Scions. Tempestus is the leader, and then I've got a Scion gunner who is carrying a plasma gun, because I like plasma. It's a lot of fun. And then I've also got a Scion gunner who's got the hotshot volley gun. Now, I've made them both specialists. Currently, plasma gun guy is Demolitions, so he can kind of ignore cover. And hotshot volley gun guy, because he's firing 4 times, it's heavy 4. He's sniper, which means he gets to reroll 1s. My assumption is there's just more likely going to be more possible 1s when you throw 4 dice. So I was kind of like, nah. But I might move the sniper to plasma. I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. But it kind of doesn't matter because those are the 2. So basically you're going to have your leader, and then you're going to have kind of a small retinue, 2 actual Scions who are going to work with him, and then everybody else in the entire list is going to be Guardsmen. I've got one more specialist that's in there, and that's going to be basically a comms specialist, which will be able to give benefits to people who are shooting and things like that, and also going to carry a Voxcaster, and that'll be a regular Guardsman. As a specialist, he will probably feel a little bit outgunned or outmatched in some fashion, hanging around with these really super cool Scions and everything like that, but he's going to have to suck it up. Then to fill out the rest of the list, I've got 8 more Guardsmen. 2 of them are special weapons gunners, and one has a flamer and one has a plasma gun, because I think plasma spam is sort of fun. I like shooting plasma. It's a good time. So they don't have anything else going on other than those 2 things. I have a regular Guardsman gunner who is going to have a grenade launcher. I know grenade launchers are probably not super effective in the game, especially in competitive style play. I just love grenade launchers. I just love lobbing grenades. It's a lot of fun. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular old Guardsmen, just bog standard, carrying the flashlight, and that's my entire list. Now, it's not, like I said, a great list, but it is a list that I just sort of enjoy the flow of. I like the fact that you have this Tempestus Scion, who's kind of a best of the best of the Guardsmen, and kind of the 2 flanking Scions that go with that Tempestor. Tempestor, sorry. And I just love that concept. I can see it in my head. I can see him in the middle. I'm going to use the heads on them that are not the ones with the helmets, but I'm going to use the ones with the mustache. I don't see it here, but it's in the sprue, definitely. He's got a big old mustache, and so that's going to be our leader. He's probably yelling. That's kind of what leaders do. And then the other 2 might go helmet, might not. Not quite sure yet. As far as the other ones, some of them are going to be helmet, and some of them might not. Again, like I said, this new sprue here has got a lot of different options, but a lot of them are helmets, but not all of them. This whole section over here is all basically not helmets, and so you can almost see that. So yeah, again, when I have a tendency to build lists, I have a tendency to think about it from the hobby side and the story that's going on in my head. Now, again, this is the wrong way to do it if you want to get into competitive play of any kind. If you just want to win, you probably ought to think a little bit more strategically about how you build your lists. I'm not here to tell you how to do that because I'm not the kind of person who can actually answer those questions. But if you want to have a good time and play a game and have fun, you want to try to imbue some idea of what's going on with your group in the group that you're building. And it's way easier, like I said, in a skirmish game, in my opinion, because it's very difficult to sort of think about 100 or 150 Tyranids and figure out like, oh, this is Dave, and this one is Carl, and this one's Sally. And it just doesn't, but sitting down and actually working with a small group like this, you can maybe not necessarily name every one of them, though you certainly could. I did a video years and years and years ago about personalizing your miniatures. Pachow, and the fun that can be had with that. But looking at it from the group dynamic and figuring that stuff out, I don't know, I think it's a lot of fun. So now that I have my 97-point list completely finished, which I'll throw up here on the screen, and I might even throw it down in the description if I'm feeling saucy, it's time to start building. So I'm going to start doing that and also figuring out what kind of look I'm going with, because I'll tell you what look I'm not going with. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm not doing the regular standard tan and green, and I'm not doing the blue and gold here from the Scions. I'm going to be working so that they both kind of look the same, both groups to some degree, like the color scheme's the same, and I'm going to come up with something that's a bit different, I think. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I think my plan is actually to take this group and to make it into a hobby progress vlog here on the channel. I haven't done one of those in a long time, so you'll see that. It won't be on a Friday, it'll probably be on some sort of a Sunday or something like I used to, but we'll see how it goes. But just think about it from this aspect. When you sit down and start building a list, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I got to build another list and do a bunch of research and try to figure out, the best way and the most perfect, actually dialed in perfect. Just maybe if you're not that concerned about winning, if you're concerned about having a good time and having a group you enjoy, start thinking about it a little bit from story and build your own story in your head about why these folks are together doing this thing and why this boss and why you decided to put this head on this person and that kind of stuff. I think you'll find yourself invested a lot more mentally into what you're doing.